When people support Pharos Parenting, it's not just supporting that one agency, it's really supporting an entire community of resources that help support children and families in our community. The Iredell County Partnership for Young Children is a nonprofit organization that provides services for children birth to age 5 and their families, and we provide services in 4 core areas: family support, early care and education, early literacy, and child health. For us, the partnership that's in our name, Iredell County Partnership for Young Children, I always say, it's in our name, literally, partnership. We love to partner with other community agencies. We recognize that we have similar yet complementary services to other agencies in Iredell County. And so with Pharos Parenting, if there's a family in need that we can't necessarily meet all of their needs, then we're going to refer them to Pharos. So we often have families come in with more than one need. And I don't think any one agency can meet all of those needs. And so we really have to work together as a community. And that helps prevent families from falling through the cracks. So we're able to kind of refer back and forth. And that's what's so meaningful about our partnership with Pharos. Some of the services that we offer to families are considered more light touches, but that family may have needs that require some more intensive home visiting perhaps, or parenting education, things that we don't offer and don't necessarily have the staff who are qualified to provide that service. So that's where we see the biggest kind of opportunity for collaboration and support for those families.
When we have a parent who's struggling with a student, if that's a kindergarten student all the way up to 12th grade, we can refer that family to Pharos Parenting. One of the great things about Pharos Parenting is they offer free sessions and parent coaching for any of our parents, and that's been really great to have those free services, because parents can't afford to pay for some of that training, which they critically need. And it's just been a blessing to have Pharos Parenting offer those free services. We have teen moms, and our teen moms need lots of support. So we also rely on Pharos Parenting to help our teen moms. They've never been a mom before. They need that one-on-one coaching. How do I take care of this new baby? I've got it. I want to love it. I want to do right by it. So we tell them, go to Pharos Parenting, take these classes. They're free. And that's what I love about it. They're free. And our teen mothers become better mothers by having this additional training.
Heather has been coming in and doing parenting classes. She's also come in to do one-on-one training with parents. She has put, worked on things such as routine and schedule. She's part of our village. They say it takes a village to raise a kid, and she is definitely part of our village. Hope of Mooresville is a program that works with women and children that are homeless. We meet them where they're at, and our goal when they leave here is to be able to sustain a successful life after they leave. As a nonprofit, partnering with Pharos and having Heather come has left us funds to be able to use for other things, to assist with housing and medical needs. But without Heather, that would not be possible. Without Pharos, that wouldn't be possible, because she is here and she meets the clients, she meets our ladies where they're at. A lot of these parents are single moms with 3 or 4 kids. They've had no stable home for a couple of years. There's been no routine. And so we meet them where they're at. And Heather does the same thing. She puts our philosophy into place. She meets them where they're at. And we are so thankful that Pharos doesn't charge us to come. She comes every week, and there's just no way we could afford that as a nonprofit. So we are so blessed to have Pharos as part of our family and part of our community.
I see this being a really strong partnership. Tanya and I work really well together, and it just makes sense. At Dove House, we serve child victims of sexual abuse in Iredell and Alexander counties. We had Pharos come in and teach our staff their parenting program, Love and Logic, and I had a couple thoughts. One, several of us have small kids, and it's not the easiest thing to navigate because there's no handbook for parenting that you get when the kids are born. And we work in this field, and so we really, I think we know how important parenting can be, and how for those of us that may have cycles that we want to break and we want to be the best parents possible. And so we wanted to invest in that way, but also when we recommend the parenting program to our clients, we also wanted to say, look, we did this program and here's how it helped us and here's what we learned. We are venturing into having our first full-time in-house therapist here on staff, and we are hoping to create a partnership with Pharos where when our kids are getting therapeutic services, the parents are getting parenting services, and so everybody comes out of that appointment with a bit more knowledge and a little bit more tools in their toolbox. I've always been a huge proponent for this to be free to our community, because people come from all different walks of life and all different situations, and we want to remove that barrier. I just foresee this being a really beautiful partnership, and I see people really thriving because of what they've learned through Dove House and through Pharos combined.
We need Pharos Parenting to provide the expertise that we don't have. Cornelius Early Scholars is a scholarship Christian preschool here in the Lake Norman region. We serve families of 150% of the federal poverty level and below, providing free preschool education for their children. Cornelius Early Scholars was built on 3 pillars: academic excellence, faith-based, and also parental involvement. And it was in that third area that we really needed the help. And so we were lucky to be introduced to Pharos through the Exchange Club of North Mecklenburg. They now come into our monthly parental education and support meetings, and they hold the program. So local restaurants provide the food, we bring the families in and their children, we provide childcare while the Pharos people do the real work of parental education. They learn conflict resolution, they learn about how to de-escalate issues with their children. We also have financial literacy classes for them. We have a variety of things that we think are basic life skills that weren't handed down from their parents to them. And so we're trying to make sure that they have the benefit of Pharos Parenting.
We have volunteers that go in with the Best Beginnings program and meet the moms in the hospital. I've been a nurse for 27 years, and about good 20 solid years I was with moms and babies, everything except labor and delivery. I love going in and seeing the new moms. What I do is I go in and I find out who the new moms are that'll be going home, and just let them know about Pharos, that it's a nonprofit in the community, that they're there as parent support, and it's a nonprofit, so there's no charge, no obligation or anything, but we are there to support them for newborn all the way through to age 18. So it may not be that they are uncomfortable with the new baby, it may be the 3-year-old that's at home who is throwing tantrums and regressing like crazy, that they're like, what do I do with this one? So that's another aspect. It's good for, it is applicable to any of the children in the home.
It's been something for me, I think that was a big light bulb for me, just getting exposed to how important education can be for opportunities. We have orthodontic practice here in Statesville, family practice. We tend to see children and adults ranging from 7 years of age to up into the 80s, so we've got some 80-year-old patients as well. It was a personal experience at first. I was reading through the content and material, honestly just working on being a better parent, and I'd known Pharos was across the street and had known Tanya for a while, interacting with their family, getting that whole community experience, but didn't make the connection between Pharos and some of the things that I later learned until I got a chance to have a conversation with her chairside about some of the things that I was reading in this book, and she said, we teach some of those things. So we did I think it was a 2 or 3 session class and came over our lunch break, and I mean, it was amazing. They didn't charge anything. Tanya said, "Oh, we'll take care of it. This is what we do," which I wasn't expecting. We typically, exchange some level of compensation for a high level of service, which I felt like we got. Really, a lot of this came from just conversation in the relationship we have with Tanya and your team, and it was really neat just to talk about how we could explore a partnership, a relationship, where we could get into the schools and try to share some of the curriculum that we were learning. And so the more we looked into it, realized that they actually have a curriculum specific for teachers and specific for schools. So the only hurdle to get over was, well, who's going to make the investment in that material so that we could get into the schools. And we were happy to do it. You guys had done so much for us and not charged us. We felt like it was the appropriate thing to do.
I do not think that we would see the success rate and a break in the cycle of abuse and neglect if Pharos Parenting were not here. This agency refers to Pharos Parenting because they do not offer just the traditional parenting classes. They offer a number of classes which are geared to the specific needs of the client. For instance, we have parents who are great parents, but because of their substance abuse, it has led to abuse and neglect. And so Pharos offers a substance abuse and recovery class. They offer classes specifically for fathers, age-appropriate parenting classes, and they also have an in-home parent aide who will go into the home, which is very helpful because many times our parents do not have transportation and cannot actually get to the classes, but the parent in-home aide will go into the home and help support the parent and work with them on the goals that they would like to achieve. And the in-home parent aide can be in anywhere from 9 months up to a year. They keep the social workers appraised of the goals, their progress or lack of progress, and compliance. The clients are also talk to us and the social workers about what they have learned from the providers and demonstrate their skills learned. And overall, Pharos has helped reduce risk, increase safety, and strengthen these families.
When we have a parent who's struggling with a student, if that's a kindergarten student all the way up to 12th grade, we can refer that family to Pharos Parenting.
We are a small organization and we depend on our partners to help us. I mean, there's just no way I could spend the time and the energy and do what Heather does.
We need Pharos Parenting to provide the expertise that we don't have.
All new moms hit a point, you're sleep deprived, you're hormonal, and you just don't want to do anything but cry and you don't know why. And so, just to have somebody to step in and say, this is okay, this is normal. Everybody feels this way at some point.
You guys had done so much for us and not charged us. We felt like it was the appropriate thing to do.
I see people really thriving because of what they've learned through Dove House and through Pharos combined.
We can do our jobs better at DSS being able to refer to Pharos and having those providers work with our clients.
Supporting Pharos Parenting is supporting an entire community and a network of agencies that work together to support children and families in our community.